Hi everyone, I'm Kasia Bosne, wardrobe stylist, fashion badjonista, founder of Boutique on 57, and I have a fabulous guest today that I would love to welcome at the boutique. Fantastic woman, author of Spiritually Rich and Sexy, Pamela Jo McQuade. Thank you so much for coming to the boutique and talking to me. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I read your book and I absolutely love it. You have such an amazing sense of humor, but foremost, you are delivering a very important, very powerful message that we are all masters of our lives, and each one of us holds that magic brush, and we are capable to deliver with that brush anything we want on that canvas, anything we desire. Why is it that so many of us hold on to the old patterns? We're such a creatures of old thinking. We are so afraid to move forward. How do you think we can fix it?
Well, my philosophy on this is it's fears and doubts that hold people back from achieving their highest potential. And really at a spiritual level, it goes into patterning. So we have old belief systems, you've got emotional baggage, so to speak, that holds and magnetizes the same.
Where do they come from?
Experiences. It's the same experiences over and over. So I always say, and this was part of the premise of my book, this was my experience, and this is why I know this firsthand. So it acts like this. You have belief systems. So I talk to people about whatever you believe is what shows up in your life. So if you ever want to know where you're at in life, you look around at everything, your relationships, your career, what experiences you're having, what opportunities, and then you evaluate from there. And if everything isn't in alignment with love, with peace, with joy, with abundance and prosperity, there's work to be done. Because I believe that's what everyone should have. That's our God-given birthright to have, be in that state of open flow. I talk about this type of stuff in a very open and fun format because I've experienced so much adversity in my life. I now look back and it's not funny to me, but it's fun to look at it because it's made me who I am today. I could have never written this book or been out empowering women and doing what I love to do had I not learned how to transform my life. And that's what the real message is how do you reinvent yourself?
That's fantastic. So we do have a power to choose our thoughts exactly the same way how we choose our clothes or shoes or jewelry or anything to get us going. Why is it that so many of us live in the denial? We get stuck on those fears. We think that we're attracting wrong people, wrong places. We are looking for validations at the wrong places, of course. And majority of us think that other people should really make us happy. We look for the soulmates that we think they can bring us fulfillment, love, and anything we can possibly only imagine. We blame them for if we're not happy. And this really, it's not where we should look at. This really should start within us. We really have to embrace ourselves and start with ourselves, to look at ourselves and to find all those answers. It sounds really simple and easy, but in reality, it's really not. Where do you think we can find our personal truth to that?
Yeah, these are great points. Thank you so much. You know, beauty and richness are from the inside out. And I speak about this a lot because society would have us believe that it's the other way around. And, you know, if I drive a fancy car, I have a certain job, I'm thin, I look a certain way, that's going to change my life. You know, I did all that too. And it makes it worse because if you are not at peace, if you do not internally feel at peace or feel joy or happiness, there's nothing materially that's going to fill that void. And so what happens there is people, that's when addictions start happening typically. You know, you have all these addictions, people start drinking or doing drugs or they're shopping, you know, all this stuff. And so what you're bringing up, I love, and the whole premise for what we're doing here is women stepping into their power. So I talk about Jimmy Choo's shoes a lot. You know, that's the icon of, you know, this rich and sexy shoe. Well, what that really is for me is about women owning their power. And how you learn this are the steps in my book. So my book is laid out in 12 chapters, and each chapter is an actual tool spiritually that can help transform this, because there are keys. There are keys that you have to do to start changing your life. Now, to answer your other question, people don't do this a lot because it takes courage. when you go down this path of really looking at self, because that's what this is, digging internally. And that was one of the biggest epiphanies of my life. I had to really start searching different ways and going within myself, because the tools that they have today weren't there. But I still found, and really the reason I wrote the book was because I really felt like there wasn't one single book that laid it all out. And I thought my story is the perfect story for this. I've done this. I've transformed. I know how to do this. And hopefully my book is such that it not only shows you step by step how to do this, but it's actually inspiring, because I tell you, and you've read the book, if I can do this, anybody can do this. This isn't some magical formula or trick. But it does take courage, because what you start facing within yourself are the real truths about, if I'm attracting this, I have to start looking within myself and saying, you know, how do I not love myself? Why do I feel so unworthy? And you start getting into these belief systems that society has placed upon us. Maybe you've grown up in family or friends. It can be anybody that starts imprinting these belief systems. I always tell people, never think that you're dreaming too big. In fact, I don't think people dream big enough. Because, you know, those little dreams that you have when you're a little girl or a young guy, and you think, oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, you know, do this and this and this. The thing is, those are there for a reason. If you can imagine that, and if you can really heal your life, you can achieve anything.
Well, that's all amazing. And you talk a lot about the courage. Most of us probably prefer to go to the psychic and hear what we really want to hear, not really what the truth is. How can we encourage people to put all the effort and really get in touch with themselves and really work? Because this is really, let's face it, it's a lot of work to be happy, to surround ourselves with beautiful things, to know how to surround ourselves with those beautiful, gorgeous people, right people, things, whatever makes us happy. How can we encourage people that they really reach out to that?
Well, what happens oftentimes when something really, and I always am cautious about saying this, but it seems like it's true. Things don't have to get rock bottom to change your life, but oftentimes it gets to that point. And it's not to the point where you're going to commit suicide or anything like that, but sometimes it's just a matter of you're waking up every day, and you might have a great life, and you're just not having fun, and you're not happy. And that's the key, because if you're not happy, something's really wrong. We're meant to be happy and be joyful and have wonderful lives. And so sometimes, you know, it's just you're not doing what you want to be doing. So in waking up with any emotion outside of these emotions that I keep talking about, where you just wake up and you're blissed and you're feel love that's radiating and all of these things, there's something to examine. But oftentimes it's losing a job, a divorce, something major that starts triggering this feeling of unsettlement. I had been jotting down ideas. I had all of this inspiration coming through, and it was Spirituality is Sexy, and it was chapters to this book. I knew that it was going to be speaking engagements, but I really didn't know that it was meant to be a book at that time. So I did. I went to lots of energetic practitioners, and I started in the energy piece, really learning about energy and how to change my energy. And then it was just, you know, a gift of mine. So then it just opened up this whole world of my own healing abilities in terms of going within myself. And, you know, I write about lots of this in the book. But again, you know, even in today's world, I don't believe that's mainstream. So that's the goal, bringing this to the mainstream so that people can really heal their lives and heal their lives before it gets to a breaking point.
That's a fantastic point. I really hope that you all listening, taking it into serious consideration, because we all want to be happy, beautiful in the end of the day. Pamela, thank you so much for coming here and spending time with me. I can sit here and talk for hours, as spirituality is actually my favorite subject. And for all of you, I strongly encourage to go and get this book, Spiritually Rich and Sexy. Also, Pamela is available for your book signing this Wednesday, July 13th, from 5 p.m. to 8 or 9 p.m., wherever you want her to stay, how long, at Boutique on 57. Also, you can come meet her and talk to her, get your free book signed. Also, if you want to shop with us, we have plenty of Gucci, Pucci, Valentino, Cavalli, and with each purchase, you'll be able to get your free signed copy. And one more surprise. Since we love surprises, bring your gently used Jimmy Choo, and we're going to donate it Souls for Souls, and you will be able to get a brand new pair at 10 to 15% off. So thank you so much for watching again. Pamela and I, we're looking forward to seeing you, talking to you, and see you on Wednesday.